Hello and welcome to. I'm just kidding. I can't do it.
Hello and welcome to Rad Pod and Chill. I'll be Heidi Kuda for the evening. No, just kidding. Heidi's on her way. She's running behind a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started and
these
let's
are
get
three
right
of my.
into the rant.
Go ahead.
Introductions.
Heidi will come and she'll be a cheerleader, and so let's get all the dark shit out right now.
Yeah,
fuck Vladimir Putin. Fuck Elon Musk. Fuck Joe fuck Peter fucking Thiel.
Oh hell, she's here now. She's gonna be pissed.
Shit! Damn it. Okay.
Mom caught us.
Don't tell
yeah, Jim. First comment, Jim. Here you go.
Yeah.
Weird. I know, right? Jim went naked face. Jim lost his face.
Jim looks so handsome.
I know. I got a haircut.
He looks like
Jim upstaged me with his beard.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
That's all right.
Sean called it the Great Reset.
Are we already live?
Yeah,
yes,
we are live.
Oh, right on.
We haven't done introductions though. I was just ranting first.
Okay,
Heidi, introductions.
So before
I was suggesting we get all the dark shit out of the way before you get here, but now it's too late.
I think with you all shaved up, it's just not going to be dark. It's all light and glowy and dewy. So
just no. Just wait. I got plenty.
You got plenty of darkness where that came from.
I got plenty of darkness.
I'm just so happy to be here, and I just wanted to say I couldn't find the link. Is my audio okay?
It's fine.
You sound good.
What? That's crazy.
Well, it's not great, but it's good.
It's not great. It never is. I know.
It's good.
Sean's actually going to take things into his own hands, and he's going to send me a proper laptop. So I'm very excited about that.
He's giving out laptops? Shit.
You get a laptop.
I didn't realize that's on the company plan.
Look under your seat, Jim.
Company?
Look under your seat. There's a laptop under there.
Oh my goodness. I am so happy to be here. I just sat in an hour and a half traffic, making business calls and, doing everything I could to try to get here in time to see your mugs. So welcome everybody to Rad Pod and Chill. I'm Heidi Kuda. Jim Stewartson's to my this side.
Okay.
We got Hi-Fi, Catty Corner. We got Sean, new haircut, Connor.
Oprah Sean.
Anagram Connor.
Oh yeah, guys, big time.
And so I have all kinds of stuff that I want to chat about, but if you guys have anything you want to roll with first. Oh, I see Hi-Fi's got his hand up.
He never doesn't have his fucking hand up, does he?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Put your hands in the air like you just don't care. Exxon is getting fucked up.
Hold on, screaming.
Yeah, California Attorney General.
Why are you yelling?
I don't know. Because I'm excited.
He's got a big rib cage or whatever.
I do.
It's Rad Pod and Chill, man.
Yeah,
it's Rad Pod.
Hey, check it out, y'all. Exxon is getting fucked up by the California Attorney General, who is investigating the plastic pollution pandemic.
Oh god,
and Exxon's gonna get.
What?
Heard it before, dude. Heard it before.
I know. It'd be nice if we do some shit on the federal level, right?
It would be nice. It would be nice.
I gotta say, I've been so busy that I keep on thinking like I want to go to New Mexico. I'm very happy in New Mexico, and then I'm like, I need New Mexico to stay blue if I'm going to go to New Mexico. And I think about how they tried to take out our blue governor. You know what happened since we fought off the Red Scare in California? We managed to fight off dark money trying to take our California blue governor away. You know what happened, gentlemen?
What happened?
We are in the process of becoming a sanctuary state for women who need abortion care and health care. And
Yep.
that's what happens when you stay in a blue state. So everything
gonna
I'm
get
doing
weird.
is all about blue. So I got to
But-
say, if California is going to try to do something to deal with plastic pollution, wunderbar, I'll probably stay a bit longer.
California has a budget surplus too, by the way. That's looking pretty good.
Well, that's because we
better
love
than
our
Kentucky.
governor so much. The reason I'll explain why. We love our governor so much, the majority of us do, that we are willing to pay the sunshine tax. We are willing to pay the extra taxation when we get in a jam. And that is simply because we respect our blue governor. Now, that said, being in the trenches of local campaigning, it's you can see what has happened to even our blue state and how people are feeling. Somebody called me today to say, can you at least tell me that people aren't being psyoped, where you are? And I cannot.
Everybody's being
Jim
psyoped.
knows, I cannot. Anybody who's got a laptop, there's a very good chance that they are being fed Russian disinformation.
It's really sorry, Sean. Go ahead.
I was half joking, but it's that new word, the petroleum psyop, is the greenwashing that we've all seen. With the petroleum companies and all of their faux green initiatives, which are total bullshit. It's just getting to be everywhere.
Everything is a fucking influence campaign, right?
That's
Everything. It's really and that's the thing is this is the behavior of society, right?
Yeah.
That is what actually drives all this stuff.
Right.
There's that
And we're
car
not.
It's not me,
Right.
man.
Well,
Is there a bank?
Uh-oh.
Is somebody whose bank is being robbed right now?
Let's see. It's Heidi.
It's not me.
I knew it was Heidi.
Oh, it's just a car alarm.
Oh,
It's a car
Heidi,
alarm
Heidi,
going off.
Heidi, you're gonna have to drop out and come back.
Ooh,
You're
Is
Saudi.
it super
you're
loud?
breaking
I'll
up
just
again.
mute. Okay.
actually, I have an audio track that I would recommend to our audience. It's called Car Alarm. It's by a band called Too Many Zoos, ZOOZ, and it's a sax player, trumpet player, and a percussionist.
Yeah.
But they use a car alarm in the song. It's fucking great. Anyway,
I was poking around on
that sounds amazing.
I was poking around on Spotify and I found the most hilarious band name ever. It was The Anxiety of the Goalkeeper During Penalty Kicks.
that's a lot of anxiety, dude.
I know. I was a goalkeeper. But that was a great band name. Let's see if Heidi sounds better. If she doesn't, we're just gonna get rid of her.
So
Okay, Heidi, get this test.
Oh, I didn't realize that my volume was all the way down. Should I come back out and put the microphone
no,
down?
you sound fine.
No,
No, you're
just
fine.
leave-
No, you're good.
Crank her up a little bit, Sean. She's a little quiet.
I got it. Here you go. Go ahead. We're good. Go ahead, Jim. You're up.
I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. That was
Tracy
a long
Beans?
time ago.
Cue him back up,
What's that?
guys.
Tracy Beans?
Tracy Bean. I was not talking about Tracy Beans. I was going to talk about Twitter.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh boy.
Because
Let's
this
get
is not
it.
about me. We're not going to talk. I mean,
No.
okay, we'll talk about. There is one connection that is fascinating. So Elon Musk is just destroying Twitter and turning it into fucking gutter or some gutter or something. Like we should call it gutter.
Gutter.
Alrighty, I gotta get you that shit soon.
Oh man, it's just fucking chaos everywhere. God,
Love it. I love it. I love our chaos.
So Elon, the Twitter is gonna be weird. Man.
So
a shit show.
I mean, you guys have seen what he's been doing, right?
Yeah.
He now has 88 million followers.
He's trolling.
The guy is a cult leader.
Yeah.
Who is leading a crypto cult that is trying to take down our financial system.
Look at how
Put your hand down. I'm ranting.
God damn.
Put your hand up when I'm ranting. It discourages me.
Sorry.
He's a cult leader.
He's got 88 million fucking followers, and he's saying shit like, "I'm gonna buy Coca-Cola and put the cocaine back in it."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, look, if some guy did that, whatever, that's a dumb joke,
Yep.
but it's not a
Yep.
big deal. He's got 89, 88, probably 89 by now, million fucking followers, and kids all over the
And
place are seeing that.
It's
and
big
Jim,
troll, big
Jim,
troll.
he also has an SEC by SEC mandate. He's supposed to pass his tweets through an approved Tesla attorney before they get published. Obviously, that's not happening. Therefore, there's a big SEC issue that he's going to have to deal with. So they just
Either
do
Yeah,
that
that
or he's
once.
got
well,
a really shitty
anything. I think
lawyer.
that's anything about Tesla, but he's also got an agreement with Twitter that he
Yeah.
isn't going to disparage them. And I just posted an article from Jackie Singh, and everybody should read it.
Yeah.
Which shows in gory detail how all these Twitter employees are being targeted with
Yep.
coordinated harassment, like
Yep.
clearly professional, organized,
Yep.
trolling of the
Yeah.
kind that anybody who's been following us will be very, very
Yep.
familiar with. Now, what's
Yeah. That's
even
right.
more interesting than that is this other thing that suddenly started happening, which is
Yeah.
Amber Heard is getting absolutely blown up all over the place.
hmm
Like on Twitter, if you go to
Yeah,
YouTube, like it's
yeah,
bananas. It's misogynistic, despicable. Look,
Well,
Amber Heard, I don't have any
that
particular
trial.
good
Yeah.
feelings about Amber Heard,
Yeah.
but like under no circumstances should she be getting attacked in this scenario.
Yeah.
Whether or not she's a perpetrator, she is absolutely also a victim.
Yeah.
She, like, some of the shit that went down is just fucking bad.
It's horrible.
And let's remember Amber Heard and Elon Musk were boyfriend and girlfriend for
hmm
over a year, and
Oh,
Amber Heard was testifying about him today.
Yep. There was
Today,
the
testifying
and
about Elon Musk at the same time as this massive fucking wave of trolling is just getting shot in her direction, specifically about an ACLU donation that Elon Musk supposedly did part of. So all that is fucked up, right? Now, what's interesting for me in particular is my main troll, who I will not name, um, fucking is on the Amber Heard case.
yeah.
It's really
Which
weird.
makes it appear to be a professional paid operation like all the other ones
Well,
were.
no, but how did Elon Musk get in touch with this person? Have they been in
uh,
touch before? Like, how did
yeah.
she get this contract? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Well,
So
so I should.
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
yet, but I am much more interested in Mr. Musk's
Yeah.
fucking activities.
And connect.
And not
And I
only in general, but from a personal point of view. So,
and I shared with you guys in
please
in our
stand by.
chat the other day the main spear, the head of a spear that we've done a sort of a white paper on with a friend of mine who's a whistleblower. And it's pretty extensive. So much so I can say this, that he personally contacted Jack Dorsey and got this person off of a permanent ban, um,
Yeah,
which was common. So he had either access or he was one call away from either getting. He had a shadow ban list, which we actually have an email list of the people that he wanted to shadow ban,
yeah.
and then he could also contact Jack and get people off of ban. So that's
Hey,
pretty.
well, isn't that fucking interesting?
So
Yeah.
let's talk about that for just a minute, because when I was watching the nature of the tweets coming through, you couldn't help it. I don't follow him, but you couldn't help it because it was being retweeted by everybody. So who used to take up all that space until he was banned? Trump, right? King troll. Who do we know? I personally know is a total micromanager. Trump, narcissistic, vindictive micromanager. So it would not be surprising that the new king troll, who's taking up all that space, would also have that kind of micromanaging, thin skin, vendetta-y type of personality. And I believe that there is some court cases to back that up, actually.
Yeah.
Which
I mean,
about
look. Here's the thing. Also about this, look at the people who managed to stay on this fucking platform.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Look. All of them are connected to this this crew, right?
Yeah.
Posobiec. What
Yeah.
the fuck is Jack Posobiec doing on Twitter? Like seriously, for
Riling up the
fucking
Nazis.
7
Yeah.
years,
Well,
just doing Nazi shit all
targeting
the time.
targeting
Fucking wait,
targeting women.
Cernovich. What the fuck is
Doing
Cernovich
that
doing on
too.
Twitter still?
You know,
Louise
Cernovich,
Ment.
he's also
I'll say her fucking name. What are these
yeah.
people who are only there for harm? Who is protecting them? Why are these
Yeah.
horrible, harmful propaganda Nazi accounts still there? I'll tell you why. Is because these motherfuckers are being protected,
Yeah.
So
and people who
yeah.
are attacking their owners are
Yeah.
getting deplatformed.
So
Well,
Cernovich, I know Cernovich is also on Cameo. So is Roger Stone, and I only know that because I was going to
Because
get a
those
joke.
motherfuckers need money.
I was going to get a joke cameo where I was going to make him say shit about Jim, which was going to be hilarious. But
as you would.
yeah,
So
totally I would.
Jim, every time I get a free second, I'm catching up on some of the work that you've been doing, and a lot of things have been going through my head. Because again, I always like to go. It's literally my broadcast news training where I always try to get like just sort of those two words that you put together that allow everybody to see and understand what someone's saying. And it was so clear to me when you described what was happening with Musk and Twitter as a land grab, as we
Yeah,
are in an information war and we are talking about a land grab. The land is the territory. These are
yeah.
territorial hissings.
The
It's
Very
data and
important to get that.
it's
I'm
capturing
gonna explode.
territory in
the
the
data.
information war.
Oh
I'm
god.
gonna
High five.
explode.
Oh my
We
god. Now
already
you're
did this. It's
He's
called
pointing at his head. That's not
authoritarian
good. Everybody
capture.
stand back.
yeah.
Authoritarian capture. We discussed this on the show.
Yeah,
Twitter is a
that's
source
it.
of information, and if you control that flow of information to people and
Oh
what
man,
they see and how they interact with it,
Right.
Yeah.
it is
But we tend to
so
think of authoritarian
valuable.
capture as land mass. We tend to think of it as institutions and systems.
It's data.
What
It's
happened when
data.
Jim did that blog was it became very clear that you could view Twitter as a land mass, as an
Yeah.
area. And Roger
Yeah,
Sullenberger, years ago in Paste Magazine, wrote about how the new battlefield in this information war, is these spaces, these platforms. So just
It's
having it
data.
framed as actual territory, much the way Russia is, hammering away in its war of annihilation against Ukraine, it really stood out to me. Then I read your latest thing about the woman who is connected in all these ways to Russian ops and Russian money and all of that funneling. And I looked at all the players and I went back to your 12 Angry Men piece. And it became very clear that we have until all of the media stops referring to these fifth column Manchurian candidates as politicians or as businessmen and starts calling them what they are, which is assassins of democracy.
Surveillance
We are
capital. Yeah.
we are dealing with all of these very, very wealthy, very moneyed. If they don't have money, they're backed by big money. All of them with tentacles, we know now, to Putin, because we've been doing this work for so long. They are not only trying to protect their capitalism and their corruption, but they are trying to assassinate our democracy. And this is all
100%. I
So
mean,
one of
oh, go ahead, Troy.
I was just going to say the other piece about as we're talking about this authoritarian captures the data, right? The data, of course, the data is very important. It's important particularly for Elon because they always file in their SEC, 10K filings that they spend $0 on advertising.
yeah.
Okay, that's what they claim. Now he's got a lot 80 million, so that's a lot of wide reach. So if you own Twitter now and you have access to that entire fucking data pipeline, your non-advertising and non-marketing is going to be much more targeted and specific to potential buyers for your products. So the only other instance in which I could think of like similar cases when Johnson & Johnson owned the website babysitter.com Johnson.com, which I don't know if a lot of you women knew that, but that was owned by Johnson & Johnson for years. So whenever someone would be pregnant, they go to Baby Center, and then they would start collecting all that data from the pregnant women, and then lo and behold, they start getting all this Johnson & Johnson marketing and advertising on Facebook. So it was the only instance I knew of in which a company or an
Well, yeah,
individual
I
was
mean,
selling with product through, but I don't know if there's ever been someone who's owned a social media site that had also owned a company that sold products of this nature. I mean, Oculus maybe in Facebook, but anyway,
yeah, there's no precedent for some
yeah,
like Twitter is, it's relatively small. It's got 200 or 300 million people or
yeah,
whatever it is. But it is insanely influential. Like, just
sure.
watch cable TV. Half of what they do is
Or
fucking
tweets.
like show
Yep.
tweets,
Hmm.
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Twitter is the
And
information
so
pipeline. That's where it
yes.
comes from.
yes, so that's I just to say what back up to what Heidi was saying. This is an information war. World War III has been going on for a long time, and the land is information. It is territory in the minds of people, right?
Yes,
It's
that's right.
it Putin's mistake is that he fucked up, frankly, and went back to the old school, like, actual land grab thing. And I think that's going to have proven to be his big problem, because he was being very successful with
Yes.
his information war.
Hmm.
Either
And
that or
and
that's his biggest distraction. This bloody, horrible, cruel, war of annihilation could be actually his biggest distraction, because as we are seeing, there are still major
well,
things going
so
on.
one of the things I wrote today was I found this interview with Flynn from 2014.
Jesus, I saw that.
And like, dude, I mean, you just listen to him, and he was getting criticized because no one had any fucking idea Russia was invading Crimea.
Right.
And guess who was in charge of military intelligence? Guess who was in charge of making sure the government of the United States knew that the government of Russia was secretly going into Crimea with Spetsnaz, special ops soldiers, taking over buildings, and just magically one day had the entire country? That was a colossal intelligence failure,
Right.
unless that was exactly what he was trying to do,
Who
which
was it? Who was
was
it?
which was protect Vladimir Putin while he invaded Crimea.
It
And
appears
guess
this
who else?
relationship has
Guess who
had
else
history.
is all in favor of it? Ron Paul
Yeah, that's weird.
Hmm.
was
Like,
Oh yeah,
all in favor of it. Like,
yeah.
this is Russian money, a shit fucking ton of Russian money. Let's be
Stolen by
clear
the
about this.
Russian
Here
people.
we here we
Stolen.
go. You ready? The pipeline is very simple. It goes from Vladimir Putin to, in this particular case, the Mercers. He's
Yes.
got a quant fund. A quant
Yes.
fund. It's a hedge fund where it's a big magic black box where money goes in and more money comes out. No one has any fucking idea what goes on in there.
The
So
tentacle
so
to
the money
Russian
goes the
is
money goes into
profound.
into the Mercers. This is all documented. The
Hmm.
Mercers launder that shit up, and they hand it out to people like Peter Thiel.
Hmm.
Peter Thiel then, because he believes he's the master of the universe, like, starts deploying his money to support the people who are providing it, specifically Vladimir
Hmm.
Putin. All of this is in Thiel's mind a project and Musk to destroy the Earth, to destroy civilization. You guys, they Elon Musk really, really believes that we need to go to Mars, and
Yeah.
he wants to go ahead and accelerate the Earth going away so that his real estate on Mars can be more expensive. I am not even kidding.
Well,
That is what he thinks in his giant $1 trillion head.
we have all these brilliant guests on, and we had Paul Mason and Charles Creel on over the weekend. And Charles Creel said when he was talking about the information war and the bullying and the dangers of what we were seeing in the wild, wild interweb, that he literally, said he sounded crazy. Well, you fast
Mhm.
forward a few years and he was completely on point. And thank God he's
Totally.
now working in the world's online arms. So none of this sounds crazy to those of us who do the work. We see the patterns. We see that it's what Paul Mason said that was so brilliant. Take fascists at their word.
Mhm.
Take them at their word. When they say, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do, don't think they're just being cute. Don't think they're just being clowns.
Yep.
We have to learn from history. And what we've learned is no,
I
they're
mean,
serious. They mean
we
it.
don't even have to do history, right? We can go back like to 2015, 2016, where a bunch of Bernie dumbasses got psyoped into believing that actually Trump was going to be better than Hillary,
Yeah.
right?
And yeah, Jim, when you were just talking about, what'd you say? The pipeline goes from here to here. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's that simple. Yeah, it's like this. It's pretty clear. Those are the pipelines, and
Yeah,
that's what's been.
there's some pipelines too.
There's some.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. I mean, I know you guys have all seen this, but Jesus Christ, you look at it, it really just gives you a picture. Russian dominated pipelines, all of it.
I would
I
actually
mean,
really love to see a
unbelievable.
money pipeline. I would love
I've looked similar to
him
this, I'm sure.
to do a graph that shows all the things that
It'd be
Mercer put
nice.
his money into, all the things that Thiel put his money into, all the things that Musk put his money into, all the money that has been received from, various oligarchs to Trump, and like really just map it out. I mean, we've done some of it, but I think
It's
people
pretty
don't really
simple.
know. They still can't wrap their head around it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing people don't just have a hard time believing is that you can just shove a bunch of money into a society and have people do what you want them to do, right? We just haven't, as a collective, sort of gotten our heads around that, right?
No.
Like, people they mischaracterize it as, when you say, look, there's Russian influence in society right now, especially
Right.
in these places, oh, you just say everybody's a Russian op. No, it doesn't work like that. It
No.
doesn't work like that. No, zero people who are trolling any of us uh, are getting paid in rubles, right? That
Right.
doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
It's the
There's 4
cutouts.
fucking layers down from
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
who means anything.
Right.
But
Right.
at the end of the day, the money, that's where the money comes from. It
Yeah, that's
comes
right.
literally from oligarchs, and it goes into American billionaires to
Right.
pass around into various and
Crypt,
sundry sociopaths to cause
cryptocurrency.
hell.
And
Yep.
it's hello,
Ooh,
gal, and it has
ooh.
infected our
Gal
country and our
Suburban.
democracy.
Cal Suburban and the Hizzy.
Crypto.
Actually,
Is
the Central African Republic just voted to accept cryptocurrency. What do we know about the Central African Republic? It's got a lot of gold and a lot of diamonds
Emeralds.
and a pretty
I would,
yeah,
corrupt
and
government.
is
So
that
where
where
else?
Elon's
Where
Yeah.
else did
emerald
they?
mine is?
Where,
Yeah.
Uh,
where else did they do it? El Salvador, also.
El
yeah,
You
Salvador.
know,
South
Yeah.
Salvador, not known for any
which
corruption.
is that poor country, man. Like,
They've been
American,
Yeah.
hammered.
Been
like
fucking rude.
the Americans have been going in there and running experiments on that fucking country for a long time, and
Yeah.
just leave
We
them
should really
alone, for
stop.
fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And
We
while
should.
you're talking about oligarchs funneling some money, I did do that interview with Marty over the weekend, and I published it. I don't remember, maybe Sunday night, and I think I called it "Bloody Hell."
El Salvador, gal.
Bloody hell, dead Russians tell no tales. And the takeaways, if you guys didn't read it, is that yes, in 1929, there was a bunch of millionaires who did not want to go from riches to rags, jumping out of windows. So it's plausible that this, that this kind of rash of dead Russians could,
No,
be
it's not.
feeling this way. However,
No,
what
it's
I
not.
believe after looking at everything that Marty laid out and doing my own investigation is it appears that there is a mob war going on underneath this Ukraine war. And what I mean by that is that these guys are only currency, transactional currency to Putin. And if he's not getting his vid, they are disposable. So
Yep.
it's a very cruel thing to float, but I think we are looking at what Paul Mason taught us is a very rational sociopath.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all. If you take the value of humans out of the equation, right, it makes you a superstar in a lot of ways. It is a
Sure.
superpower
Yep.
in a lot of ways because it gives you so many more options. Oh, so like I did wrong to that person. Instead of thinking to yourself, well, how do I make that up to them? You think to yourself, oh, well, I'll just destroy them and ruin them so that the bad thing that I did won't come out.
It's an
Right.
operational. It's not. It's
It
a.
just
Yep.
gives you that option, and that is a
Yep.
much cheaper option than
Yes.
the option of actually doing the right thing.
And
So
what is what?
sociopathy is not only a superpower going into it, but it is intentionally created in people who are
Until you
brainwashed.
get Gaddafi, which does happen as well to these people. And so that is something that they need to be concerned about. What I will say is that two other incredible things came out of that interview with Marty. One is that he reminded me that Wayne Barrett was the first to refer to Trump as a user of users, and that he feels that that's how we should be viewing Putin, simply as a transactional user of users. The other thing is I did not know that Karen Dawisha is an incredible scholar, academic. I did not know she had passed away. I don't want to get into that, but I didn't know that. And that she had written Putin's Kleptocracy. But what she had discovered was exactly in sync of what I had just discovered. And that was that remember I was telling you that back in 99 and 98, people were very progressively liberal, getting a taste of what freedom felt like in Russia. And then I told you guys by 2000, the Russian state had taken over the internet and pushed people toward authoritarianism. But what Karen found was the actual document that showed this was going to be an operation against the Russian people, and that Putin's FSB was going to be running this op. And 20 freaking years later, the world's gone mad, and that is because we are being psyoped all day long. And thank God for the work of Karen Dawisha, because she's the one who basically exposed so much, including that Putin gets his VIG from all of these guys. Okay, so I'm going to shut up because we got anagrams coming up in 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes. You guys want to? Sorry.
Float my name for this segment that Sean doesn't like. Propagandagrams. It's the greatest name.
Stop it!
Actually,
Propagandagrams is. I want to play.
It's pretty good.
I want to like.
It's
since
pretty
we
good.
have a couple of minutes, you guys came up with the inevitable, because you remember how the PayPal mafia originated with, Thiel and Musk merging their companies together. Well, clearly the idea of Rumble and Twitter coming together. So Sean came up with Twimbler, which I thought was really
Twimbler.
Twimbler.
And then
Twimbler.
and then a hi-fi was something like Twumble or some kind of
Twumble. Yeah.
Twumble. But then Jim came up with the one that won the prize on the interwebs, which was Dwumbler.
Just Dumbler.
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 It just makes you Dumbler. All of it.
Dumbler.
It's all
of it makes you Dumbler. But that's the idea.
Do you guys want to watch You guys want to watch some of these clips?
I want to watch Paul Mason's clip, do anagrams, and then watch some Charles Creel.
So we'll do.
Wait a second. Kathy is mentioning one person, Villanueva. I just got to say that I have to watch his commercials all day, like on TV. It is the most bizarre shit you have ever seen.
What are we
talking
about? That
guy is out of his mind. Villanueva is the sheriff. The sheriff of Los Angeles, which is just unbelievable because he is absolutely the worst.
Yeah.
Just
murderous gang run by a psychopath.
So we're gonna do the Paul Mason.
Jennifer, she liked it. Propagandagrams.
It's good. I just don't want people thinking that we're propagandists sharing it through the anagrams.
I think they know us by now.
I know.
If it tells you it's propaganda, is it really propaganda?
Here's the other thing.
Yeah, it's the most.
Here's the other thing. We can make Jim happy with this, so I say do it. Look at that.
He is smiling.
That cheese and smile we got going right now. So let's do it. Let's do it.
Is this emotional bullying? We've got emotional bullying going
No.
on. Stop it, you guys.
No, I'm sharing my feelings.
The girl
who wants
wearing
to-
the
Oh.
love shirt
I
is
see. I'm
being
feeling very
sincere.
naked right now. Look, my
You're
who wants to
wearing
introduce this?
your regular gray sweater.
my
right?
leather.
What? Oh.
What's that?
Are we going to introduce this Mason video, or are we just going to run it?
Yes. Thank
Paul
you. Thank
Mason.
you for keeping us.
Keep us on task, Sean.
We got 25 minutes. So you want to introduce it, or are you ready to rock? You want to run it?
I do want to introduce it. Paul Mason wrote How to Stop Fascism. He's an incredible activist, playwright, as Jim says, Antifa as fuck, as we all say, the most metal guest we've ever had. He has a few things to say about fascism.
Yeah, here we go.
Putin writes the essay, "The Ukrainians are really Russians." That's the short summary of this long, rambling essay on the unity of the Ukrainians and the Russians. Then he slaps down a draft treaty saying that Eastern Europe should demilitarize and he should get a veto on all foreign policy decisions in Europe, full stop. Okay. And then you start to get the drumbeat of ethno-nationalism. So that 2 days before the war starts, he makes this broadcast saying Ukraine is an anti-Russia. It's us, the Russians, as we should not be. And your existence as a Russian type of people who don't behave like us is an affront to us. So we're going to cancel Ukrainianness. And all the time you're thinking, is this guy serious? Because that's genocide. That's a genocidal expression. And is this guy serious that Ukraine shouldn't exist? And is he serious that he's going to demilitarize Europe? And just as with the study of historic fascism, we had to learn one thing: take fascists at their word. If they start talking about genocide, they start talking about a final solution for the Jewish question, don't assume that this is some kind of flim-flam to mobilize votes. You have to assume they're serious about it. And on the 24th of Feb at 5 a.m., we found out that he is indeed serious. And from the Bucha massacre and all the other massacre evidence that's coming out, we're finding out that this guy, as with, I now think that we are facing a totalitarian fascist style dictatorship in Russia.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
There are some
Timothy-
people that want to do that here.
Can
That's
we just
the
give
fucking-
that
Timothy
a
Snyder
moment?
was on Rachel tonight saying exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
That
Who was?
Timothy Snyder,
Yeah.
one of the greatest thinkers on fascism.
Yep.
Put him up there with
Yep.
Sarah Kendzior.
Yeah.
Fuck, what was I talking about?
Tim Snyder
Fascism.
on Mad
Oh,
Hour.
Tim.
Matter.
Tim Snyder was talking about the same idea, which is Putin's rhetoric has switched to a fully genocidal set of trigger words. Basically,
Yeah.
he and more than that, he's doing it. So,
Yeah.
like in Eastern Ukraine, they're literally re-educating teachers
Yeah.
already.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're murdering any young men on the spot, and they are re-educating people and punishing, imprisoning, or killing people who do not basically renounce their Ukrainianism. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
It is a literal ongoing genocide with all the trappings. The only thing that we have going for us right now, honestly, is that it's on 24/7 and everybody knows what's going on, right?
Well, we
Which is
have.
different than it was in Europe in the 40s.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean he's not going to do it.
And also because people are doubling down in their information silos, that sometimes it still doesn't penetrate, so that is, but what we do have good news to what Jim is saying too, is we do actually have action. We talk so much, the show is built on disinformation. Anybody with a laptop, particularly during that pandemic, could be victim if they don't have filters or cognitive thinking or whatever it is that makes us able to see it. I don't know why some people can and some people are oblivious, but we do have laws bills, action. We have Dr. Charles Creel, freaking superhero.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And let's just, I mean, I'm blown away at the quality of guests that we get on this show, but I'm just saying, like, Paul Mason, Charles Creel,
Oh, hell yeah.
in the same week, it really shows how hard we're trying to get this message across. But do we have a Charles Creel clip? Because I'd like to introduce that a bit. So
Let's do it.
Charles directed the film People You May Know, which showed how people are being psyoped through their
Mandatory.
churches and through their data being exploited by their churches. And then he came out with, he and his wife, Kat Gellin, came out with Disinformed, which showed how yoga moms in the health and wellness community was being targeted by
pastel Q stuff. Yeah.
dis and misinformation, why so many people weren't getting vaccinated, and all this crazy stuff. So he has been involved in exposing this world for a long time. He has been counseling legislators in the UK for a long time, very much involved in exposing Cambridge Analytica's exploits. He came on our show to talk to us about the new online safety harms law that just passed in the EU and the one that he's working on for the UK. And this is some big stuff, because if it's happening there, it's going to have to come here inevitably. And I look at it like smoking, inevitably we ended up putting, some restrictions, but he said so many brilliant things. But let's just see what this one clip shows. Should we be hopeful? Let's start with the Digital Safety Act. Should we be hopeful that there is some action and accountability happening in relation to online harms?
Well, I think we should absolutely be hopeful. And I mean, I was reading over the news about it this morning, and I was reminded that 5 or 6 years ago, I was saying things like, we should consider breaking up Facebook as a monopoly. We should consider breaking up Google on antitrust laws, that we are actually engaged in World War III, that Ukraine is a hot lab for disinformation and disinformation processes. And I sounded like a madman. Fortunately, I kept most of that talk to myself, except that about 7 years ago in Kiev, interestingly, I gave a talk to a number of different NGOs saying that they needed to get their operation off Facebook. And a number of different independent journalism organizations in countries that are formerly part of the Soviet Union, that it was important to move off of Facebook because Facebook ultimately would control their distribution, and then they would lock it down and they wouldn't be able to afford to advertise enough to get their news out.
Yep.
Well, that was a starter kit. He went on to say that online harms are real world harms, and that all of this stuff that we're talking about is bullying. We know Facebook is a crime scene. And also what Hi-Fi brought up, which was a really good point during that interview, is that unless this legislation has teeth and the people who do nothing about these harms do not have criminal convictions and the chance of going to jail, then this may be a much longer war.
Oh, it certainly will
be.
Yeah.
We've already
just look at the fines that are levied against these people. Oh, you want $143 million? Here you go. Boom, boom, boom. The guy has
I'm here to tell you guys, they build that into their quarterly reports. They build it's right there. You can see it, in their filings. They build
unacceptable.
It's a formula. It's like, oh well, can we profit, despite any ramifications from poisoning people, from hurting them, from whatever. And it is apparently totally acceptable. I just, Mr. John Welsh, yes to your question, which is Ron Paul, Rand Paul, CCP, Russia show segment someday. I've been looking a lot into the Pauls, specifically because Mike Flynn's employee Tracy Diaz, who I did a very long piece on, huge Ron Paul supporter, and Ron Paul is the biggest Russia Putin stan on planet Earth, and completely and totally funded by Peter Thiel during the first part of the teens.
Isn't it so weird that we used to think libertarianism was just kind of like, guys who wanted you to
It's a
stay away from
psyop.
smoking weed? It totally is. Now we can see. Do you remember when Rand
Look at
Paul
this guy.
passed a
Look at,
letter to Putin?
look at this
He
guy, dude. Every
actually
time.
passed an
High five.
envelope from Trump to Putin.
He's like the dude in Jeopardy that hits the button before the question's finished being asked, you know? It's like right when he
Well,
starts talking. He doesn't know
okay.
what he's going to say. His hands goes up.
No, the first thing you have to understand about libertarians is they stole just the word libertarian from libertarian anarchists who are completely fucking different from these assholes.
Okay.
Second, you'll also notice that a lot of them have a thing for
And
younger.
Trigger alert! Trigger alert!
Yeah,
Trigger alert.
Let's stop right there. Yeah. Yeah, we got-
But this is a theme with them. They are
I
all
understand.
incel, deviant, twisted, beta S.
This also goes into the neo-reactionary movement,
Libertines.
which is a really, really subversive and important movement that not a ton of people know about. It's a very strange combination of anarchist and monarchist of all things, right?
Sounds like Plato's,
It's this ultra supreme sort of right wing kind of ideology that they glam up as freedom when in fact it's really nothing of the sort.
Yeah.
I think the Libertines are a pretty cool band too, right?
This is hilarious. Jennifer, this is hilarious.
Yeah, that wins. That shit wins, Jennifer. Put it on a T-shirt, sell it in the store.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
This is exhausting.
Guys, we know the tactics you're using. We know what you're doing. We know the shit you're spewing. Just stop. We already know what you're fucking up to. And if you're not going to stop, we're going to put you in prison.
Well,
that's too funny, man. Oh God.
We've said this over and over and over again. It's like we can't just have this, the justice emperor cannot have no clothes. Like we literally need to, see people with a lot of money who've committed a lot of crimes actually go to jail, just like they put Madoff away, and eventually some people do end up behind bars. If we don't see more of that, then this culture of corruption will continue. And this is a great place to mention, I don't usually like to tease our guests, but we're going to have Craig Unger back on. And you know why? Because Craig he's doing some incredible work. He's going to talk about CPAC going to Hungary, which is going to be amazing. We're going to talk about these dead oligarchs, but he also is the one who explained to me more than anybody that it's what is legal in our country that is harming us. And Charles Creel brought that home. He said, legal but harmful. We have to start doing this kind of messaging, where we just bring it home. Legal but harmful. It may be legal, it's harmful. We now need to have our laws, and we need to have our justice system prove that we are still a democracy. So
yeah, there's another phrase that I think is important, which is harmful speech isn't free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If your fucking speech is hurting someone, it isn't free to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. It may be free to you, motherfucker. It is not free to the person you're hurting.
There's a cost.
And so so the free part of that needs to be, like it is in everything else, car accidents or, like negotiations. If you're supposed to take both people who are in the interaction into account, and we're just totally not. Like, oh, it's free speech. You can just go ahead and fucking, troll that person into suicide or whatever. Like,
that's
sorry,
not right.
Ain't free.
I do think that if you guys have promised me we're going to win, I'm going to go with that. Part of it is going to have to be that profound, structural change in our country to some of our laws, and certain things that have been legal must be found to be illegal. But I do think that if we are going to make these changes, that part of what I want to see is that paid troll operatives are recognized as terrorists because they cause mental trauma, they cause online harms, they cause offline harms because we take that into our real world. And if we can start viewing them as terrorists and start having legislation that backs us up, they're going to have to find a new racket. And that goes for the farms in the Philippines, that goes for the farms that are occurring that are Russian funded in Africa, and that goes for the domestic troll farms that are happening right here in America right now. If we can start calling them terrorists and moving our politicians toward legislating against this, then we have a chance of having the world that we would like our children to be raised in and raise their children in. This bullying culture that's taken over in the last 20 years, fuck that. That's not what I want. That's not what you want.
This is a good segue into some anagrams because the first one is hostile takeover. So okay, so here's the thing: is I had a choice. I did Elon Musk. The best one was Elon Musk anagrammed into Omen Sulk, which is pretty good. But I had to. So these other ones are better. These are some of the best I've ever done. So the first one we'll look at hostile.
Oh wow, that's
wow,
look at
because you've
hostile
done some
takeover.
killer ones.
Hostile takeover. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Do it.
Ooh.
oh boy.
Wow.
Hostile takeover.
How do
Right?
you do that? Wow.
That's a good
Steve?
one.
See?
Or okay to steal.
Okay, steal. Yeah. I
That's
love
right. Now,
that. That's
here's
amazing.
this next one was kind of blew my mind. It has two good ones, so I put both of them on there, but this is just nuts. So this one is for free speech absolutist.
Oh,
Ready?
geez.
Anybody want to guess?
I have no idea.
The lizard.
The lizard.
I'm sorry. I don't think that joke gets old.
It's never gonna die. It's canon now. It's Rat Pod canon.
Okay, here we go. Ready, guys? Free speech absolutist.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, we're not ready.
hell yeah,
We're
buddy.
ready. We're
This
not
one.
ready.
Best fucking thing I've ever done. Can you believe that?
That is, yeah, that's
crazy.
fuck.
Wow,
Everybody
dude.
Gold star. Gold stars for Sean. Just
Oh
send
my
him-
god.
Wow.
Right?
Oh my
Right?
God.
Bananas.
That
I don't even know.
it's so perfect though. It's so perfect.
I know. Okay, so here's the next one. That's the winner.
more?
That's the winner. No, of the same word. So of the phrase free speech
Oh,
absolutist, we get prosecutable fetishes, which is just fucking fantastic. That's the winner
Amazing.
by far.
Chef-
Okay, and then
chef's
it also will. You'll see the next one. It also anagrams into.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Wow.
Oh.
Holy crap.
That's
Wow.
Words are
that's
good.
yeah. Those were the best, dude, I've ever done ever.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is
This one, though.
Propagandagrams.
That one.
Prosecutable
That
fetishes.
Because that one
Anagrams doesn't
fits
do it for
so
this.
fucking
It
well.
needs more.
That's just amazing. I love anagrams. Obviously, I love anagrams. They just fucking blow me away sometimes. I don't know why. It's something inherent in language and something about it's just like it's revealing some true nature of the actual
like,
phrase.
It's like gematria, but not stupid.
It's so fun. I mean,
really
that's
cool.
this. I fucking fell out of my chair, man. I fell out of my fucking chair when I put this together. I was like, this is
I am
just
looking
unbelievable.
So
That's
forward.
that we need.
That's on a loop.
Put that on the sizzle reel.
Oh,
That
man.
fucking right
Yeah,
there.
that's killer. That's killer. Okay,
I'm
that's all I
looking
got. Those are
Yeah,
the
we
two
got
anagrams.
some good content. We got PSYOP from today. We got
PSYOP is
Oh my
great.
god.
Yeah.
We got
fucking gorgeous.
prosecutable
Yeah,
fetishes.
we're gonna have to merge that, and then Jen I'll reach out to you and
Yeah.
see if you like some logos. That's just too good. That's
Oh,
just
do we have
amazing.
hoodies yet? Do we have hoodies?
Huh? We don't have. We have
Yeah,
some shirts. We have.
We're
I
getting
got.
Should we be selling merch?
We're getting
We have some
there.
merch. We got some merch. I got some designs.
Getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there. We're gonna have a nice little.
I've got you guys.
Group
I got a hat. I did some I did a first run of it, like a hat. I got a shirt and a tank top for the summer. But those are just one like test runs. So we'll see.
So I'm really looking forward to Boozy's report from Bot Sentinel because he really blew up the fact that all the right wingers all of a sudden got a grip of new followers. Well,
Bots
the
are back
liberal
in town.
account-
Bots are back
the
in
liberal account did.
town.
Can I tell you what happened to me that happened to me last night? Because I am in a campaign where I am, dealing with people from all different political, across the political spectrum. It's a non-political campaign, which means that, it's kind of all comers, non-political race, I should say. And it's great because I get insights and intel and I learn from people, and people one-on-one are quite lovely, to be honest with you. Whatever they think and wherever they come from, lovely. But I have to navigate my way through this. So what happened to me last night? Oh, I had a dream about Roger Stone and Paul Manafort.
I'm sorry.
I had to find common ground. Did Jim just dump out over that? I had to find common
I don't blame him. I
was
don't
it.
blame him.
I had
But
no, let me finish. I had to
All right.
find common ground to talk to Roger Stone and to talk to Manafort. And my common ground with Roger Stone was like, you have really nice dance moves. Because he does. He dances well. And then, thank God, I somehow ended up in the Gila cliff dwellings from there on a hike. And I was done with the Manafort Stone. But it was literally like, I tried to find something nice to say. And that's the best I got. But I would appreciate it if Roger Stone and Paul Manafort exited my dreams. That would make me so happy. But quite frankly, this has been my life's work. Studying this fuckery has been my
it's
life's
time.
work.
It's time. So Roger Stone tried to get back on Twitter today. Got
we
kicked
saw
the
that.
fuck off.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, you know the worst thing about dating Roger Stone? Having him
What?
watch you have sex.
Oh, stop
Mm.
it. Stop it. High five. No
Right.
hand gestures, no sexual. Certainly nothing with Roger, although Roger Stone would really appreciate this. We know from Craig Unger that, the reporters who had a rapport with him were always charmed by him. But of course, it's like, we will let it go there. But yes, I look forward
These
to a
psychopaths are
time.
very charming.
Well, that
Yes,
can't
yes,
be
they
that
are.
can't be true. That can't
Sure
some
they
more
are.
than others. I will never forget. You
I
guys all
mean,
saw.
in general, they tend to be because
can be.
Yeah, they are.
Until
they're
you see their
extremely
other
manipulative.
side.
Very,
Until
very
you
good
see their
mimics.
other
Yeah.
side. And if anybody ever saw someone get me Roger Stone or get me Roger Stone, there was that moment where Paul Manafort said, and I quote, that, well, he thinks it's going to be, a Trump presidency. It's very much going to be Roger Stone's, he's going to really put his imprint on this presidency, and it's very much going to be a Roger Stone influenced presidency. Boy, was he right about that. Boy, was he right about
Yeah,
that.
since you mentioned Manafort, can I just point out that that Putin sent Manafort into Ukraine in 2003.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
So
Long-
all of this shit has been in Putin's brain for a long time. He has
Speaking of,
known he's been going after Ukraine for fucking decades,
I think it's.
and he started
speaking of
putting the
the,
pieces in place,
yeah.
20 years ago.
Did anybody see
think
the new Batman? Speaking of sociopaths, did anybody see that?
Yeah,
The new.
I liked it.
Did it remind you of Seven? Like Seven and Batman crammed together? Like if
Yeah, a little
David
bit.
Fincher,
Yeah,
like
totally.
if David Fincher did
There's a
Batman?
little bit of Saw in there, even like it was
Yeah,
just,
dude, Seven
I
was
liked it.
amazing. When we saw Seven the first time, it fucked me up, but it was incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what it felt like. It felt like they smashed those two movies together in a good way. But
Yeah,
that, speaking of sociopaths,
I was
Seven.
going to say, if you take nothing away from this hour of disinformation musings and seriousness and entertainment, it's that take these guys at their word. Take fascists at their word. Believe them when they tell you they're going to do these terrible things. They're serious. Do not let the media turning them into clowns, putting them on as person of the year on their covers. Don't let that twist you up. When they tell you who they are,
how
first believe
how
them.
we've been through this escalating like fascist, extremist takeover, and
Still
not actually come to the conclusion that they mean it, that
Yeah,
they actually do want to take over the country and
yeah,
then the world and control it with their fucking theocratic batshittery. They really want it, like for real, and they have a lot of money, and they have a lot
yeah,
of power, and they have fucking Putin with nukes. They do.
right.
They are aligned, like literally aligned, and the guy's got thousands of nukes. If
That's
you
Yeah,
right.
don't think that they will push buttons if they have to. You're wrong. You're wrong. They will. And we need
Chalupa
to
says that
get real
that
about
Putin's
this.
so afraid of death that she doesn't think about that. But I'm with you, Jim. And one thing I will say is that we who have nothing but the power of our pens, our big hearts, you know, a crappy iPad, and Sean's talent and these guys' investigative prowess. This is what we have, and you know, we hope it's going to be enough. And thank you for everyone who joins us every week
Yeah.
and who watches
Yep.
our episodes. You guys mean everything to us. We do have a group, gathering that we're trying to put together on Zoom. We're going to have all our
Yep.
patrons come, and we're really looking forward to that.
It's gonna
And
be the full
just
group,
you
yeah.
know, just keep pushing on, man, and
And I,
you know, take it seriously, but keep love in your heart. All right.
yeah, I also gotta say, guys, we always look forward to this show. It's like one of my favorite parts of the week, getting all you guys in here
Me
talking,
too. It's the best
chat,
hour.
tell
Now I'm
jokes.
going to listen to my
It's sort
daughter
of,
DJ.
all right, guys. I'll see you later.
Love y'all.
Bye.
There you go.